Hey makers, it's Joel with CoBuild 19 and I have on my Pablo Picasso shirt today because we are going to be making some art. Picasso once said that every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain one when you grow old. And Picasso was saying a lot of things in that little statement, but I think one of the lessons that we can take from it is that we're all artists. Because we all have unique perspectives, unique histories, unique points of view. And we can all create things that express that unique perspective. Now, some people may choose to create things with paintbrushes and paint. Some people choose to create and express themselves with furniture or with bricks or concrete or paper or whatever. But we can all create things. And today, we're going to create an artwork using yarn. We're going to create yarn pom-poms, which I'll show you how to make here in just a minute. What we're going to do is we're going to make a whole bunch of these, and then we're going to create a kind of scene out of all of these different pom-poms. Now, I was inspired by all of the CoBuild videos last week that had to do with space. So what I chose to do is to create a bunch of these in different colors that I could create a scene of a night sky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a night sky with a constellation of stars, and the constellation that I chose was the constellation of Libra, which is the scales of justice, which was named by the Romans to talk about the scales of justice, of weighing the right versus the wrong. Okay, so let's jump in, let's make some art. It's always a good idea to start your project on paper, so that way when it comes time to put everything together, you have something to guide you. So there's my really rough, simple sketch. It doesn't need to be anything super fancy. It tells me some important things. One thing is, I want to have a few different colors of yarn pom-poms to represent the different colors that you might see in the sky. So I started with this row of purple at the bottom, and then it fades into blue, and there's a little bit of mixed in here of purple and blue, and then eventually it fades into this black, where I want the majority of the sky to be dark like a night sky. And then I left these other points blank because those will be my white pom-poms that will represent the individual stars that are inside of the constellation of Libra. So I have these pom-pom creators that I purchased online at Amazon. If you don't have these, or if you don't want to purchase them, you can also make a really quick version of this using just cardboard, or if you have a mom or dad who likes to cut wood, you can make one out of wood. But I'll be using these pom-pom creators, and here's the way that they work. First of all, you want to make sure that you've opened up both sides of your pom-pom maker. It really doesn't matter which direction you put it into. I usually start out with mine looking like this. So on the right hand side I have this sort of half moon shape that is facing me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my yarn. I've got a big bundle of purple yarn here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the bottom up, and I'm going to place the yarn right there, and I'm going to hold it with my finger. I won't have to hold it with my finger the whole time, because once I've wrapped around here a couple of times, the other yarn should hold it. So now I've got it started. One thing that I want to make sure that I do or that I don't do is what I've done here. And that is I've wrapped the piece of yarn around this little foot. I don't want that, so I'm just going to push that out of the way. Now that you have it started, you can go really, really fast and just start to wrap around here, just like this. All right, now that you have one side fully wrapped, what you're going to do is you're going to try to end at this side over here. So then you can put your piece of yarn through that little hook right there. Okay? Then you're going to close this up. You're going to keep the other side still open. And from here, you're going to pass the yarn through this little groove so that it comes out on the other side. Now you can start wrapping on this side. And this should go a little bit faster because you're already started. So we'll wrap around this one. All right, once you've got a big bunch wrapped on that other side, you're good to go ahead and close this. And now what you want to do is you want to grab a pair of sharp scissors, and I'm just using a pair of embroidery scissors. Cut that piece of yarn right at the edge of your pom-pom maker, okay? Now, there's this little piece where I passed one from one side to the other that is right here, and I want to make sure that I snip that piece right there. Then what you're going to do is start on either end, it doesn't really make a difference, and you're just going to cut along that groove. You're going to cut all of your yarn strands just like that. And then do the exact same thing on the other side. Now you're almost done. So now what you've got is you've got that middle part exposed. You want to make sure that you keep this whole thing closed. You're going to grab another little piece of yarn. You want probably 8 inches or so that you're going to snip off of there. What you're going to do with that is you're going to take that piece of yarn and you're going to run it into that groove right there. And you want it to wrap all the way around. And then you're going to tie a knot. You're going to make sure that when you do this, that you pull it really, really tight. You'll see all of the yarn start to move. We'll pull it really tight. We'll do that one more time. And we should be good. Now you're going to take your scissors again and just snip those little bits off. Okay? Now it's time to see your pom-pom. You're going to open up one side, open up the other side, pull this apart, and there is your pom-pom. What I like to do at this point is roll it in my hands to sort of fluff it out, and then it also gets rid of little pieces and bits that you've snipped off. And now you've got your pom-pom. So this is the part that's going to take you a really long time. It takes a really long time to make these, so this is something that you can do while you're watching TV or listening to music or watching something on your computer or whatever else. So do these and you'll make a whole big bunch of them, and then we'll assemble them all once they're all ready to go. And there we go. I've got all of my pom-poms assembled by colors. There's white, there's purple, there's blue, and then there's black. So now it comes time to put all of these together to make my artwork. So now it's time for us to begin to assemble. And I've put my drawing over here as my reference, and I've put all of my pom-poms out on this black piece of cardboard because I want the night sky to kind of fade into that black. So I'm using this to kind of fill in any gaps that I might have for my background. Now I'm just going to start to put things together where I think that they're going to look best. And I'm going to do all of my blues, blacks, and purples first, and then I can squeeze my other ones into the space where I think they can go. Okay, I kind of like the way that that looks. We just have everything assembled by colors. We have it fading from our dark down to our purple colors. Maybe I'll just switch out a couple of these and put those closer. There we go. I like that. Now we can actually start to put together our constellation, which I have my white pom-poms here to do. So I'm just going to squeeze those in there because I want those to be the smaller ones. So that's where I'm going to start. Put this one in here. Put this one in here. Put these two real close together like they are in the constellation, maybe with a little bit of color in between. One more comes down here. One down here. And then finally, one here. Okay, so now I've arranged everything in sort of the formation that I want it to be in, but I can continue to mess with this and rearrange things as I want to, because I haven't glued anything down yet. That would be the next step that you would do, is glue these down, or they even make mats that you can purchase that will allow you to tie them into a grid-like system as well. Mine right now are not glued down, they're right where they're just sitting on my board, so that I can continue to rearrange these however I would like. So that's it. Good luck with your PomPom art. I can't wait to see what you make. Make sure that you take some pictures or video and share it with us on the CoBuild 19 Facebook group. Until next time, happy making.